Okay, y'all. So I'm warming up for a workout that has a lot of hip hinging. It's got deadlifts, it's got power cleans. So both things, and we're actually using dumbbells today, which is almost like a deficit with the barbell. So I'm doing things where I need a lot of that hip flexion. I need that ability to really bend at the waist without running into my hip and having to reverse with my back and my hip around a tight hip. So what happens a lot is if we think about our femur and our hip joint, when we spend a lot of time sitting and just kind of over the course of our lives, our femur can get pulled a little bit forward in that hip. And then when we go to bend, we can actually kind of hit and press those tissues up against bone, and that can cause a lot of restriction. So just to restore movement in that hip capsule, I'm going to use gravity to push through my knee, and I'm trying to use gravity here to push that hip back in its socket and just to get some good movement. So you can hop on the ground and you can follow along with me on this one. Where I'm just going to spend a couple minutes here, show you what I'm going to do to prep. But I'm just going to start on all fours. I'm going to lift one leg up in the air. So I'm really only focusing right now on my left side. I'm going to draw my belly button in, and I'm just looking to get weight. I'm not looking to shove my hips way out or do anything too weird. I'm just looking to get weight into that knee, and I'm trying to relax at the hip as much as possible, just trying to get gravity to help me push that hip back in its socket. Once I've spent a little bit of time here just breathing, relaxing, I'm almost trying to feel like that hip or that femur is poking out of my butt cheek. So once I kind of have that feeling a little bit, I'm going to start just doing hip hinges where I'm keeping weight in the knee and I'm just going back. I'm trying to avoid having my back move around any issues. If I feel any pinching or tightness, especially in the front of the hip, I'm just going to come back up and reset. And really with that weight, this is just a joint distraction. So using that weight to distract the joint a little bit, I'm just going to try and get reps in to try and get that hip moving as good as possible here. So I'm not really counting, I'm not doing a particular number. If you wanted to, 10 to 20 is probably good. I just kind of go off of feeling, and once I feel like I can get that hip gliding all the way back, knee up to the chest without impingement or restriction, that's when I kind of know to move on. Sometimes when I'm warming up, I move on from this and then I come back to it. And other days, when I'm warming up, it just feels good and I don't bother with it. But most days, this can give you a lot easier and better range of motion. So let's go ahead and switch over to that right side. So same thing, we're just going to kind of pick that left knee up off the ground. We can extend that left leg up. And I'm just going to sit here for a little bit, breathe. And I'm just trying to let my weight help me sink that hip back in its socket. From there, I'm just going to send it back a little bit. Running into stuff behind me here. So sending it back. Again, if I feel any pinching, I'm just going to come off of it. Try not to do anything weird with my back. Just trying to keep pressure through the knee, sitting my butt back towards my heels. If I feel pinching, I'm just going to reset it. And I'm not thinking of this as like stretching. I'm thinking of this as just getting reps in. Trying to get that hip moving well in its socket. Couple more here. I'm going to sit here for a sec, let it kind of wiggle around, go side to side. All right. Then what I'm going to do is kind of a final thing is now that I've gotten a lot of pressure on each side, I'm just going to go both together. If I was going to do a squat, I'd go a little bit wider, but I'm deadlifting today, so I'm going to go a little bit narrower here. And just all together, belly button drawn in, I'm just going to send my hips back. So just a real controlled hip hinge All of my focus is going into keeping weight in my knees, but drawing my belly button in and not letting my low back work around. So as soon as I feel any restriction at all, I'm just coming off of it. And again, if you're going to count reps, about 10 to 20 is good. But really, I'm just kind of going off of feel. And as I feel like my hips are gliding nicely, that's kind of when I'm going to move on. Okay, I'm going to do one more here. Nice and slow. All right. So again, all we're trying to do is get some pressure through the ground there to help push that hip back in its socket. We're just getting reps in to try and get some good movement there. It can really help free up your body from restrictions. Great on any sort of squatting, deadlifting type day. I tend to really like to do it when I have to use those narrower stances, like deadlifting, clean snatches, those things. But especially when I'm doing a workout with dumbbells that really makes me go a little bit lower, I just want to make sure that I can easily and effectively and efficiently get down into those in-range positions. I hope that helps. Talk to y'all soon.